Good evening, friends, and welcome to yet another very interesting, informative session with Dr. Vinod ji. And welcome, Dr. Vinod, once again. Yeah. So, in today's session, we'll be talking about what everyone is talking about on the mainstream media, especially with the fact that the SEO meet recently happened, and we saw how Modi, Putin, Xi Jinping, they got together, and it gave a lot of shockwaves to certain countries like Pakistan and the US. Yeah, so it is over to you. Yeah.
There's a lot of echo.
Is there a lot of echo?
Echo. Now, actually, they started this SEO meeting, that is Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting, started today in September 1st. And very interestingly, that is happening in Tianjin. And see, that's called optics, what they call in geopolitics as optics. Everyone is looking, because exactly we won't be knowing what exactly they are actually talking between themselves. So you look at the optics of what is there. And in ahead of that plenary session, Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping. And the interactions were marked by very big, good warmth, visible camaraderie, smiles, handshakes, and even hugs with Putin. So these are called optics. And so they are actually very delicate geopolitical movement, because that is what is giving the impression to the entire world and the entire media, including US, that is what is going to happen behind the scenes. That is what is called this optics of geopolitics. And I think Narendra Modi has played it very, very well. See, the way he walked into the meeting along with Putin, and then holding Xi Jinping's and Putin's hand together, having suddenly all the translators crowding around them. Probably, even though that was for 45 seconds or 50 seconds or less than 1 minute, it conveyed the message. So I think the United States also got that message very well. That is what is coming out of Marco Rubio's statement today evening, which has come very late after that thing. So I think it's going on well. It's a new alignment which is happening between Russia, China, and India. And there, as I understand, there was a 45 minutes meeting on the sidelines of this SEO between Putin and our Narendra Modi ji. And we exactly don't know what has gone behind on that thing. But still, from the body language, many times interpretations are done by the smiles, hugs, handshakes between the leaders. And it is very evident how Modi ji handled Shahbaz Sharif. So it is interpretations which are coming out in the media and experts that something strong is going on between these three countries. And there could be resolutions, there could be decisions, there could be trade agreements which can happen later on. So I think it is a good thing which has happened. Probably Modi ji and Xi Jinping will talk and try to settle a certain difference of opinion between India and China, though everything may not come through. But I think India and Russia is really getting stronger and closer, and things are improving with China. That is what I would assess as my opening remark in this.
Yeah, so from this picture, friends, you can see that it's quite obvious that Shahbaz Sharif is not very happy from his facial expressions, the way Putin is being held with Narendra Modi ji. So it's a very funny photo.
We can call it as an interesting huddle, no? Between these three. Interesting huddle, like in football. Same team and the other team is looking from distance.
Yeah.
Nice.
So also, if I don't know if you had time to watch the news, Vinodji, that Shehbaz Sharif was going to give shake hand to Putin. and
Uh-huh.
Chinese president, he just didn't see Shehbaz Sharif. So all this very subtle,
No, no, these
more.
are real political master play which is going on. This that's what I said. No, very interestingly, these are called the optics. Optics. That is not what is being seen. What is the actual thing which is going on, but it is the optics and geopolitics means in every day, in optic it's actually means how an event or an action or an interaction appears publicly, regardless of the underlying reality or the substance. That is actually the geopolitical optics means. So the in this event, the action between these three, the huddle, the interaction, the smile, and regardless of, we will never know what exactly is undergoing behind the scenes. But even this is very, very important. It is, I think, it's called a perception management, like how government, leaders, institutions want their moves to be seen by the domestic as well as the international audience. And that is what is exactly happening in this all these photograph sessions. And even in it's called, I think, the family photo session. The distance between the Shahbaz Sharif and Modi ji was very clear, very evident. They don't go near even at the same frame. Of course, in that family picture, they stand apart. But why it matters is in diplomacy, these symbols, these gestures, body language can send signal as strong as a formal agreement. That is what has been said about by political experts. So each of the symbols, gestures, and body language is very, very important. Actually, the smart fellows look for this. So people may think, and like public opinion in India may feel our leader is looking very strong and respected. Somebody, suppose another country may feel that we are not isolated, we have partners. So all these are very, very important. Like Putin hugging, Modi hugging Putin in CEO summit. What is that optics? That means India is visibly comfortable with Russia despite the US pressure. See, that we have to understand. Putin has just returned from US, Alaska. Naturally, Indians will be really skeptical whether they have made some arrangements. Is US getting close to Russia? Whether we will be sidelined? You don't know. When China is getting closer to US, we are afraid that are they making some trade arrangements? Whether they will only give concession to China, whether they will give it to India. So all these things are very important. Like Modi and Singh exchanging a very brief cordial greeting, not like Putin. It was a very casual one. So what is the optics? India and China relations are not frozen yet. Communication channels do exist. That is what we actually see. But in reality, the border issues remain unresolved. I'm sure no breakthrough would have been achieved. But this is very important. So I think these sort of initial pleasantries or the getting together are all good messages. That is why he's not shaking hand with Modi is not shaking hand with Shahbaz Sharif. Very clear-cut indication to Indians that I'm still not happy with what these people are doing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is,
yeah.
Now we should also read between the lines.
Yeah.
Because we will never come to. Yeah, you ask, please.
Sorry. What I was saying is that India is the largest supplier of diesel to Ukraine, and Russia does not have a problem with this, right?
Correct. See, it's business. It's business, and America and Trump, and that even that stupid, what is this called, Navarro? What was his name? Peter Navarro is never mentioning about that, isn't it? Like we are the largest. We are getting crude oil from Russia. Look at the very interesting part of it. Then we are making diesel out of it. And we are the current largest suppliers of diesel to Ukraine. and Ukraine is using it in their tanks to fight Russia. So look at it's pure business. In many situations, America has sold arms to both the sides. Why they are not mentioning about that? Why they are not mentioning about that? America has supplied arms to both sides. We can say the same thing. This is only, we are getting crude oil from somebody and giving the refined diesel to the other country who is fighting the original country. I mean, they are not saying, and they are not even mentioning that, isn't it? So this is probably, we are very good. That's we would say, everybody is capable of business, but Gujaratis have a real knack of doing business, isn't it? We are all aware of that. Their business acumen. And the same thing, probably Modi ji being a Gujarati and Amit Shah along with him being a Gujarati, they are very good at it. And it's all according to the law, all according to the law of the European Union and the G7 countries. Because they have put a cap on Russian oil. Unless the Russia is selling that oil, crude oil, to any other country below that level, even the insurance will not be there. The shipping will become very expensive. So Russia can't sell that crude oil to India at a higher price. That is being dictated by the international law, G7 law, European Union law. They are also buying gas, isn't it? European Union is buying gas. Even America is buying uranium from Russia, even now. So it's actually, I still feel Trump is really trying to grab India by the neck, and we will not succumb to it. Probably India is the one country which is standing, tall against, among the rest of the nations, not accepting the supremacy, unquestionable supremacy of Trump. I would say only Trump. It's not America. I would only say Trump. US is fully not responsible for the whole thing, isn't it? It's not nice to blame the entire US for that. Trump, being Trump, he can do anything.
Yeah, it is like another version of East India Company again.
But see, ultimately, I'm sure, what a very interesting thing has happened. I don't know whether it has come to your notice that, what is his name? The state secretary, Rubio.
Marco Rubio.
The state secretary made, after this SAO meeting going on, Marco Rubio calls India-US partnership, even this is the latest, as a defining relationship of the 21st century. This has come very, very late. What he said was the partnership between the United States and India continues to reach new heights. Defining relationship of the 21st century, from innovation and entrepreneurship to defense and bilateral ties, it is the enduring friendship between these two people that fuels this journey. This has come in today evening. After the SEO meeting, probably they are stunned by the huddle by the between Putin, Xi, and Modi ji, isn't it? So at a time when the whole world is closely watching India's role in balancing ties with Russia and China, I don't think US has any other option but to do this. So I think it is a patch-up which is going on.
Yeah, I really
wonder. That is what I would say.
If Trump will roll back the tariffs, the 50% tariffs on India.
Probably it may happen. Because he is making a big mistake. See, Russia, we discussed last week also. If China, India, and demographically Russia, along with South Africa and Brazil, it's a big majority of the demography, the people strength and purchasing power also. So I don't think it would be nice. This is the first step. This Marco Rubio's this statement today, which has come very, very recently. Probably any of you can go and check. It has come very recently, just before this talk. We started this talk. So that is a very clear-cut message. They don't want to. And at the same time, we should discuss the other fellows' statements. No, how The other guy, no, just like what we discussed, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Navarro, Peter Navarro.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So Peter Navarro, he made a shocking statement. He described New Delhi as nothing but a laundromat for the Kremlin, and he said that
Correct.
Brahmins are profiteering at the expense of the Indian people. So
Hmm.
he particularly said Brahmins. So this
I
is
mean,
yeah.
what was the relevance of bringing that word Brahmins? Are profit? I mean, and Brahmins are profiteering at the expense of the Indian people. Now, I see. Not only this, a few weeks back, he called Maharaja of Tarif, justifying this is the same guy. He said India is the Maharaja of Tarifs. So he is selecting certain Indian terms and using it against us, isn't it? By invoking Brahmins, Navarro framed the issue not only as the economic profiteering, but also as the internal inequality within India. That is what he is trying to say. Now, very interestingly, no, uh, I wrote a Facebook post today evening. I said our Modi ji is not only Brahmin because he's like a saint, like it according to our Hindu philosophy. If you remember, it is not by the birth; it is by the karma, isn't it? Whether one is called a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Shudra or Vaishya. I said our Modi ji is all. He is a Kshatriya because he is the ruling Prime Minister of India. He is not only a Brahmin, he is a warrior ruler right now. He defends borders, he stands tall at G20, he negotiates with superpowers at equal terms. So, warrior in suit, but then with Dharma in the heart, isn't it? That is what is Modi. So, he is definitely a Kshatriya also. Modi is a Shudra also, and he is a servant of people. He calls himself the Pradhan Sevak, the chief servant, isn't it? Sweeps guards, no, at certain times promotes Swachh Bharat, delivers rations, LPG, toilet, vaccines. So he is a Shudra also at the same time. He is cleaning the streets, cleaning up the policy, isn't it? So he's a Shudra in that sense also. Modi is a very smart trader. Modi is also a Vaishya. He buys Russian oil at discounted rate while US buys it secretly. That is also very true. No? Then he signs trade deals, gives diesel to Ukraine. He also brings in Tesla, Apple, gross Indian exports. So he is also doing a karma of Vaishya. I'm so happy he's a Vaishya also. At the same time, Modi is a Brahmin, if that is what he ever meant. No heirs, no dynasty, no private wealth. He lives very simply, meditate in caves, eat like a monk, live like a monk. Of course, in suit sometimes. That is what the. So that is the real Indian culture. You are what you are by the karma you do, not by the birth. Probably this guy has no idea about Hindu philosophy. And another thing, there is a probably he might have thought it as a different way. Like there is something called old Boston Brahmin. That's a usage in US. Those from the US will probably know because they had a lot of money. Boston Brahmins. They were actually very real tough guys. So probably he meant that Boston Brahmins. Anyway, he should not have said use that. It's a very caste statement, isn't it? And what was the relevance of that statement in today's tariff or geopolitics? So he has made it very, very purposefully made that statement very, and probably see that will bring in the enmity. Now he is making it tougher for US, isn't it? So that is what
Yeah.
I would feel about this.
Yeah, so we can't predict the way Trump, makes his decisions and policies. He keeps changing it. So he's
See,
using, yeah,
ultimately, or when all this, I know he's bringing up the cloud of dust, but this cloud, the dust will settle, and he will find himself naked, standing naked in the whole world. And then the wisdom will, if he is smart enough, At least at that point, the wisdom will come in. It's already coming in, isn't it?
Yeah. So Sunita says, sir, to what extent can India trust China?
No, you don't have to trust. See, you don't get married to China like a Hindu wedding. It's not for life. It's pure trade. That see you for China is having difficult time with Trump. India is having difficult time. Probably it is a living in relationship. Probably one night stand. Let it be a 5 night stand. Let it be a 1 month stand. What matters? Who is going to trust China? Nobody is going to trust China. We are not giving our head to his actually. That's what we have a very interesting usage in Malayalam, isn't it? So we should not trust China. Probably we can trust Russia. Even see the relationship between countries. There's nothing like a marriage. It's not forever. You are good to me, I am good to you. Provided you are powerful. Otherwise, even if he is good, bad to you, you have to be good to him. No. So it's ultimately what you gain out of it. And India's very specifically made it very clear. Like our buying Russian oil is not for permanent. It is as long as you are supplying it to us at a lower level, isn't it? So as long as you supply for a better place, when Russia war started, what was the prediction for a barrel of crude oil? They said it would go up to 200. Just because India, one of the largest users of crude oil or the usage of the oil, could get it at a very lower price from Russia, that price never went up. Otherwise, immediately OPEC countries would have raised the price beyond that level. So this is according to the norms of the trade. And that is why the European Union and America allowed us to buy it from Russia. Otherwise, why they would allow? So these are all smart moves. As she asked, whether we should trust China, no, we should not trust China. But I would say we can start a living in relationship with China for probably 1 month, 5 years, 2 years, till they are good, isn't it? Why don't we do that?
Yeah.
So that we can handle Trump in a better manner.
Yeah. I was watching some videos about astrologers, and they were looking at the astrological chart of Prime Minister Modi ji, and he has a very good horoscope. So that is why that when he has so many enemies inside and outside India, so many forces,
Correct.
so many countries against him.
Probably, see, personally speaking, I know there are very good astrologers. See, ultimately, it's all about calculations. How one is smart enough to see. It's just like a doctor. See, certain diseases, whichever doctor treats, it will work. Certain diseases, there are whichever doctor treats, he will pop off ultimately. But then there is a spectrum of diseases where a person, a smart doctor, will make a big difference. So as a professional doctor, it is your ability to stretch that spectrum to a bigger level. The same thing is applicable for an advocate. The same thing is applicable in any professional. So probably he is smart enough. And when the time, see, again, I say something which is very interesting in medical profession. If the patient's time is good, a mistake by doctor will be probably corrected. If the doctor's time is correct, even if the patient creates some problem or something, he is not taking medicine, the patient, because it is also in the interest of the doctor, no? Or at least the hospital's time should be good. So if everything come good together, probably that is the best thing. Like that, probably India's time has become, India's time is also good, Modi's time is also good, and probably Pakistan's time is not that good. I don't know. Let's hope that all the stars are favoring us. And then, see, like Bhagirath, say, even in case of a doctor, will you give it to the fate? No, the doctor will fight. Similarly, taking the example of Bhagirath, Everything was against him, but he still brought the Ganga to the earth. No. So there is always, always, and always very, very important relevance for human, what do you call, human effort, human intelligence, and human strength. Personally speaking, we may go into philosophy. That's all right. I don't want to go further into that.
Yeah. But I mean, now it is, we will have to see how Trump and America, they are going to, make some decisions, against India or for India. We don't know in the coming weeks.
See, that one thing, one very good thing which we are doing is like the stupid Nevado, who has been speaking his gut out. We are not making any statements, isn't it? We are making statements very, very measured. You remember one bad statement by Trump following that Operation Sindhu. It was me. I will catch them by their neck with my tariff strategies, trade strategies. That is the biggest blunder he has ever done, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, he said India is a dead economy.
Dead economy. And our Rahul Gandhi took that with both the hands, calling his country a dead economy, irrespective of it is a biggest growing economy with a GDP of 7.8. He accepted that. What can we do about that? What can we do? Another very interesting thing which has happened today, which is there at least in Kerala news channels, the CPM is supporting India's move. The CPM is supporting India's move. CPM, the Marxist Party of India, is supporting the Indian move of alignment with China and Russia against US policy. I mean, probably in a way, like John Brittas made that statement. John Brittas was in our team, which went outside, the MPs which went outside to Japan and all. Japan, I think it was Japan only. That was a nice statement coming from one of the opposition parties who vehemently opposed Modi.
Right. So,
right.
I mean, like Rahul Gandhi is making all the major blunders as an opposition, leader of opposition, each and every day. But you have, yeah.
He is stuck with the court cases always, isn't it?
Yeah, you have, still he has handful of people like Stalin, MK Stalin, Tejasvi Yadav, and all, handful of people. But I think in the other India alliance, like, Mamata Banerjee has, gone away.
They are slowly realizing the blunders, and this guy is not capable of leading them. That at least certain fractions of India alliance are realizing this person is keeping on making political blunders and political mistakes, and he is not the right person to lead India, at least lead them, their alliance. That they are very, very clear. That's why they are keeping a distance. Aam Aadmi Party has already done that. Probably Mamata is doing it, but he still has few friends. But then this is when the movement starts. It's slow, but after a critical level, everything will collapse. And actually, in fact, I don't want it then to collapse, so that Modi can do much better than what he is doing, isn't it? India needs him to be the opposition leader.
Yeah,
the only thing is he should allow the parliament to go on, and he should all his fights in the proper way. Either he can go to the court, or he can go and challenge the certain things in the institution. But why is doing all the road shows, creating totally false claims, creating trouble on the roads? I don't think that is the right way. An opposition leader, see, he has an avenue, isn't it? See, for you and me, we don't have much avenues, but he is the leader of the opposition in the parliament. And if he is able to speak properly with all the evidence, it has to be heard, because that is being telecasted telecast throughout India, isn't it? In their own language. Why he's not doing it? He knows that he doesn't have the stuff. Or at least he should allow his party fellow men who are good speakers to do that. That also he is not doing. What a shame.
Yeah, so especially, Sampit Patra had openly mentioned that George Soros Foundation is openly funding, Rahul Gandhi.
That we don't know. See, these are all behind the scenes. We don't know what exactly where the money is coming from somewhere, but we don't know where. And these are certain allegations which is being, aired by so-called good people, isn't it?
Yeah, so whatever is said and done, it is quite clear that America or the CIA or the opposition party, they don't want to see Modi at the as the prime minister.
As if you take the history of America and even CIA, their aim is not only their finance and money power is a very, very important thing for them, and they will create trouble in other countries. There is no doubt about it. And probably India was not in their radar right now, probably, or at least not in this way. Now that India has come to as the fourth largest economy and growing strongly, see, look at the GDP growth of any country. We used to say we will never grow at the rate of China. Now China has gone down, India has gone up. Now, when you become the top-notch guy, when you become the top-notch nation, which is growing rapidly and the fastest growing, there could be countries where it's a small economies which could be growing faster, but the large economies and that growing at this rate, naturally you come under their radar or anybody's radar. How they are doing it, what they are doing it. And with all the technology available to them, if they go at this level, one day they will be against us. They are see, we are already challenging them, no? Which other country has challenged the US in the near past? None other. We may not be giving any open challenge that we are smart enough not to do, but still we are not subjecting ourselves to their strategies. Not somebody is saying, I don't know what is the fact of it. Somebody is saying Modi ji is not even taking phone calls of Trump. There were at least 4 times he tried to make that. All these are hearsays only, but at least, and India has not denied that he stayed away from the phone. So Modi is actually his current most stumbling block for Trump to exercise his power in this world.
Yeah,
that is a problem.
So it is quite interesting times as far as geopolitics is concerned. So this is a wonderful session, and thank you for coming on our channel. And we will see you again next week, Vinodji.
Yeah, I'll be traveling next week. If possible, I will join or after that.
Sure. Okay.
Thank
That's
you.
it. Jai Hind and Jai Shri.
Jai Hind, Jai Shri.